Fuck's sake. Okay. Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of the. Are we calling this the Four Eyes, Baldy and the Four Eyes? Is that what have we gone with that?
It seems to be a good working title. Yeah.
It's going towards that way. So welcome back to the podcast. We've got a few topics we want to talk about today. Especially, in my opinion, we need to talk about Twitch. Because some bad things. I need to change this. Some bad things have been happening with Twitch. So Twitch, if you don't know, live streaming platform, mainly games. Well, it used to be mainly games, but now it's like pretty much anything. You can stream anything on Twitch, and get away with it. Especially the booby streamers.
I've heard that it's essentially turning into a cam girl website.
It's going that way, sadly. But there's been a massive problem recently with copyright. So DMCA specifically. So what's happened is ever since Twitch has began. From what I remember, is you can stream pretty much whatever you want, music-wise. Right. Because it was a live streaming platform, it's live content, not on-demand content like YouTube. Yeah. There's a weird, loophole in the copyright system. But as what's happened is all of these live streams that people have done for years have been saved into what's called VODs, video on demand, on their channel. So now the music companies have got really smart and be like, why are we not scanning their VODs? So they've gone through and scanned all of the VODs of these Twitch streamers and copyrighted everything. And if you get 3 strikes on Twitch, you get banned permanently.
So does it work in the same sort of like on YouTube? You'll get a copyright strike for you. It's the same sort of system.
Exactly, but Twitch hasn't got the algorithm there to detect it better than the music companies. So Twitch is skipping past and thinking it's fine, not notifying you at all. And then these music companies are coming in and going, hang on a minute, that's my music. And then they're copyright striking the channel. So all the content creators have had to go and delete 9 years of all their old content off of Twitch, just so they don't get banned.
So can they create an income from their on-demand stuff as well as their live streaming stuff? Does it work in a similar way to YouTube with ad revenue and all that?
I think you do get ad revenue on it, but it's like nothing. It's like for any meaningful Twitch streamer, that'll be nothing. That'll be like pennies. Yeah, it'll be.
It's if I understand it right, Twitch is done largely on donations and.
Yeah, so subscriptions is the main source of income for a Twitch streamer, I suppose. So you can subscribe with Twitch Prime, which is Amazon Prime, because Amazon own Twitch, right?
I didn't know that.
Twitch is owned by Amazon. Right. So you can use your Amazon Prime subscription, and every month you get a free Twitch sub to any channel on Twitch. Wow. It's a really, really cool system.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
And it's definitely working. But So the DMCA is taking down so many channels, giving so many channels strikes and getting them banned permanently. So that's Twitch, oh crap, all of our content creators are getting banned. But it's taken them I think probably about a month to put out a press release of okay, there's a problem. Something needs to be fixed.
Twitch
We're working on it.
It sounds like they need to up their PR game.
Yeah. It's terrible. It's really bad. I think the worst one was 9 years of content.
Jeez.
Just stuff that you've saved, that you all your clips, everything. Stuff that you saved there that you you want to remember is just gone.
So is this music that they've edited into a thing, or is it even just if they've got it sounds cheesy or whatever, but if they've got a radio on in the background while they're playing,
that's copyright music.
It's still oh Jesus
imagine
Christ.
So I think it's got to a point recently that even imagery is being copyright striked. So if they're showing an image that's copyrighted,
so like an album cover or something like that,
that can be detected as well, and another strike can be given. Yeah, it's mad. It's really bad. And some of the people had subscription sounds or notification sounds. So when somebody would subscribe, it would play a little tune or something, and even that, a 5-second clip, even that would get completely removed. You get a strike for that as well.
That's mental, man.
Insanely bad. Yeah.
I don't know that much about it, but it seems to me all Twitch need to do is update their their procedures with copyright strikes. Like just say, like for the time being, until we find a more permanent fix to it, like we're just not going to ban people for life.
It is. I think they've decided to warn people more often now. But when it first came about, because Twitch didn't even know. Like it was the music companies that were coming in and going copyright strike, and Twitch were like a bit delayed on their response. So the people were just getting banned for playing music, which, like I said, forever Twitch has been the place where you could just play music, you didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of YouTube content is recorded on Twitch as well. So people would do things like they're called like you laugh, you lose, something like that. So people would donate.
They tell terrible
jokes. They'd donate, show videos if the person laughs, blah, 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 blah. But they can't even do that anymore because what if that video is copyright striked? Like, what if that video has copyright music in it? You can't do anything with it. So it's getting really, really narrow what you can do with Twitch. It's becoming more and more like YouTube now.
I read a thing about YouTube recently where they were saying that they were considering the same video across multiple platforms. So, like, say you had like a video on YouTube, and the same video on Twitch. That YouTube can scan. My language for this is very fucking basic. So YouTube could scan third-party websites like Twitch and I don't even know if there's another one.
There used to be. They dissolved.
But essentially, YouTube can scan the internet to find identical videos to the ones that are on YouTube. Wow. Like, so say you made a video in here and you put this video on YouTube and on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like you created it on Twitch and then put it on YouTube. YouTube can copyright strike Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Because they claim that because they're the gold standard of internet video,
right?
The intellectual property lives there and everywhere else is secondary.
I suppose if it was uploaded there first, if they can prove, I mean, there's an upload date, isn't there? So.
Yeah, but even if it's uploaded to Twitch first, they can still claim that
is stupid
intellectual property or whatever. That because YouTube's more successful, that they can claim a sort of ownership of it, so that you can't have videos across multiple platforms.
That is dumb. Do you know that
it's a very? I might have butchered the way that I've explained that, like, but it was along those lines.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, is what I've seen recently is Facebook gaming has actually been growing.
Really?
Like the live streaming part of Facebook is growing, and they've just announced that they're going to allow their partnered streamers to play copyright music. I don't know how they're going to get away with it because they're going to get sued out their ass from all the music companies. But I mean, they must lose so much money in lawsuits. But
I suppose if they have like an equivalent to like a PRS license, because that's all radio is. Like radio don't pay for songs individually.
No,
they pay for a Performing Rights Society license, which says that you can play anything as long as you're making contribution. So if Facebook have got an equivalent to that,
does that cover like that? Must cover, or it would have to cover like every piece of music.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, any piece of copyrighted music at all.
Wow. So,
but I think there's 3 different.
Why don't Twitch just do that?
Because it's fucking expensive, man.
It's owned by Amazon. Like they've got. Buckets of money.
Yeah, how many people create content for Twitch?
Millions.
Exactly. Yeah. So you have to, and each channel has to have an individual license.
Yeah.
As far as the internet's a bit of a grey area, because I think for like
that's why they would be doing it for their partnered streamers only.
Yeah. So for like Radio 1, they can have, I think, one license that covers every DJ because it's on one station.
Yeah.
But something like Twitch, where you've got millions of individual channels, I think you'd have to have an individual license for each channel because there's no guaranteeing what everyone's going to play or how long they're going to do it for or what.
It would make sense to do it just the partnered streamers then.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good move. It's smart. Very smart. Considering the amount of crap that's going on with Twitch right now.
But the thing is, the music industry at the moment is hurting.
Really?
Spotify is killing. It's murdering the music industry one day at a time.
Do people even go out and buy CDs anymore? Is that a thing?
No. I don't think so. Like vinyl's making a comeback.
Really?
Vinyl's making a big comeback. It has been over the last few years as well. Like there's a big demand for vinyl.
I suppose it's kind of like retro a bit, isn't it? So you like
and also the thing, like if you're a real like audio nerd,
yeah,
MP3 sound fucking terrible. because they're really compressed.
Okay, yeah.
To get all of that information into something that size, you have to compress the fuck out of it. And it sounds like, to someone who's not, and I include myself in this, in people that aren't necessarily educated in it.
Yeah.
It sounds fine, but if you give it to someone who knows what to listen for and all that, there's a massive noticeable difference to it.
So is vinyl uncompressed?
Yeah, it's vinyl is it gets mastered a different way at the studio end of it. Like when you record when you create an album, you will master it differently for vinyl because it plays a little bit differently. But as far as I can understand, the large, super fucking massive file size that you have originally can be translated to vinyl, whereas it can't be translated to MP3. I might have butchered that as well, but vinyl's making a big comeback just because allegedly it sounds better. I can't tell if people are just saying it because they want to be cool or whether it's actually
they might be saying
real.
it to sell more vinyl.
It might be, yeah. I mean, it does sound good, man.
I can't say I've ever listened to anything. Oh, no, that's a lie. I've listened to like classical music on vinyl. Nothing.
The last one I got.
Recent.
What's the last one I got? I got Queens of Stone Age. They're like Clockwork, and Deftones' White Pony. I got them both on vinyl. They sound fucking amazing. Sounds unbelievable.
Death to the MP3.
but yeah, again, I think that's why the music industry are coming down so hard on things like Spotify and Twitch and whatever, because all that money they used to get from CDs and even MP3 sales, like they don't get a huge chunk of that anymore, because the same day that someone releases something to buy, it goes up on Spotify and Apple Music and Deezer.
You don't need to buy anything like that anymore, do you?
No.
There's no point in buying it.
I mean, I buy a certain amount of music because they're either. I mean, I like to support the bands that I like,
right?
And I'm friends with some of them, and there's some that are like legacy bands that I've been into since I was a kid.
Yeah,
and I'll happily pay for it. But if I want to check something out, like someone names me some obscure Norwegian death metal band that I've never heard of, like I'm not going to go and buy it all just on a whim. Like I'll check it out on Spotify first, and then if I like it, I'll go and buy it.
Is there any noticeable difference from buying it and just streaming it? Like,
well, with Spotify, you can get like super HD quality through Spotify.
What if you buy it, or if you just
if you just stream it?
Just streaming it for
yeah.
Oh wow. So it's probably easier to. What do you use to buy it? What is it? Just Apple Music, I guess.
Yeah, you can get it for a lot of people do it. Like I like to buy it directly from the people.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know how it works with like hip hop and pop and all that sort of stuff, but with like alternative music especially, I try to get as direct to that band as I can possibly get. Like a lot of people sell stuff through Bandcamp, and especially at the moment with this whole COVID thing, like on Fridays, Bandcamp throw away all their they get rid of all their fees.
Really?
So 100% of the sale goes to that artist or that band or whatever.
Because I remember you telling me the other day how much it was per stream that the artist gets paid on Spotify.
0.0034 pence per listen. Which means like Wonderwall is an example. So Wonderwall is the first 90s song to be streamed 1 billion times. And out of that billion streams,
1 billion streams.
Like if you sold 1 billion records, you're Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, you are.
But if 1 billion streams on Spotify is £3,400,000, which
that's crazy.
It sounds like an insane amount of money, and it is.
But 1 billion.
If they were physical sales,
1 billion of anything that should be way more than that.
Yeah, it's mental.
It can't. I mean, I suppose Spotify's got quite a lot of running costs, right? But to be fair, surely they can pay people more than that.
Well, they absolutely can.
So YouTube, for example, I know for sure definitely has way more running costs.
Yeah,
because video is obviously harder to stream than music. But what would 1 billion views be? Oh my god! So at the moment, I'm getting about £10 per 1,000.
Right.
So what would that be?
£10 per 1,000.
£10 per 1,000 views.
Let's get this.
You get a calculator.
Let's get this calculator going.
It's around RPM is around £10 per 1,000 views.
Okay, so
A billion views.
a billion is 1 and 9 zeros. So 100 million. So a billion, and you're getting how much?
£10 per 1,000. I don't know how to work that out. I'm not smart enough to work that out.
A billion. So
a lot.
So a bit. Wait. So a billion is. Fuck off. A billion is 1,000.
Mike just fell over.
A billion's 1,000 million. Right.
Jesus.
So if you know what your revenue would be off 1 million streams.
1 million views.
1 million views. Sorry.
Probably about $5,000.
About $5,000.
I bet about.
And then times that by 1,000.
Jesus Christ.
Which is
that's
5,000 times 1,000. This is about 5 million quid.
See, I thought it'd be more than that.
I think that's right, isn't it?
I think that
5,000 times 100 is 500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, yeah.
So this is definitely not the math podcast.
I worked in an industry where maths was my bread and butter, and I can't work it out.
Oh no! We could just rule it out as a lot of money. 1 billion views is going to be, but then also on Spotify, I'm sure you only have one ad, don't you, before the song, or even that maybe.
If you have the free version of Spotify,
yeah,
you get every 5 songs you get a minute of ads.
Okay, how much?
Which are unskippable.
But
if you pay for Spotify Premium, which is only I think it's like $5.99 a month, you get unlimited music without any ads.
I can see how.
And you can download it and save it on your phone so you can listen to it when you're offline or like data free as well. Like it's like having the world's record collection in your pocket for $5 a month.
That's so cheap. That really is cheap.
Yeah. It might be, to be honest, I set it up and then it just goes. So it might be a bit more. I mean, even if say it's a £10 a month.
That's still.
It's not for all that music.
It's a different way of monetizing stuff, isn't it? Because on YouTube, you just got the ads, and you can put. If the video is over 8 minutes long, you can put more than one ad in it. So you can put like 8 ads.
Yeah.
And you get paid way more if the video is over 8 minutes. Or it used to be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of YouTube videos were 10 minutes and 1 second long.
Yeah.
Just so they could put that extra ad in. Yeah. And it would honestly, it's like it doubles on if not triples your revenue just having those extra ads.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I used to have. When I first started doing it full time, I was just have one ad at the beginning, one ad in the middle, and one ad at the end.
Yeah. And
now I do like one in the beginning, and then 5 minutes later I do another one. 10 minutes later I do another one.
Yeah.
And depending on the video length as well, it matters.
See, I respect that. Like, I don't mind. Like, if I watch something that's an hour long and it's got 4 ads in it, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But what really annoys me is something that's 11 minutes long and has 9 ads in it, and I'm just like, I get what you're trying to do.
They are milking it,
but you can go fuck yourself. I'm not going to watch it.
Especially the unskippable ads as well. Oh my god, they make a lot of money though.
I bet they do.
They do make a lot.
I bet they do, and I'm very happy that those people are making a lot of money. But I'm not going to watch it. It's too much for me. Do you know what annoys me the most is fucking Channel 4. Their on-demand service, that 4OD, is dog shit because of the amount of ads they put on it.
You sound very passionate about it.
Look, the only reason I ever watch Channel 4 is because I watched the highlights of the Formula 1.
Right.
And if you're like, that program's an hour long and it will have 7 sets of ads in it. And if you try and, like, say you want to skip through, like, the first 15 minutes of David Coulthard talking shit, you want to skip through that and just get to the race, then you will be punished with like 10 minutes of ads for skipping those first 2. They'll just play it in one big block.
They're not like YouTube ads either. You can't.
No, you can't skip
5 seconds and you can skip
it.
It's
you can't.
like
no, you have to sit there
seconds
for the full. You might. Mate, it drives me fucking nuts. So like, what is the point in on demand? I get it's free. Like, I would rather pay for it and have no ads than you give it to me for free with this just fucking shower of shit.
And especially when you've got like. If it's not the latest like what's it called, like a smart TV thing.
Yeah.
That's going to lag as well.
Yeah.
So you're like trying to skip the ad and it lags and you go back and it's hit the wrong button. Oh my, I know what you mean. What terrible service.
It's awful. But my choice is either that or pay whatever crazy price it is that Sky charge for the Formula 1 channel, and I'm not doing that either. I don't want to put any more money in Murdoch's
I'm
pocket.
surprised that anyone still pays for Sky. Because you want Netflix, Amazon Prime.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that Sky have the monopoly on.
Do they have any
like
unique
through
series?
Sky box sets and all that? Like, so things like if you want to watch The Sopranos and you have a Sky subscription with the on-demand bit, you can watch it for free. If you want to watch it through Amazon, then you have to pay like £3.50 an episode.
God, really?
Yeah, it's something crazy like that.
Wow.
But you can watch it on Sky for free. Sky have and they do a lot of deals with like Disney and all that. There's a lot of shared content that you can't get on.
Is it worth? Because it's expensive, isn't it? It's like 50, 60 quid a month for all of the Sky.
It depends what package you like. If you want to load it up with movies and sports and everything else, then it'll cost you an arm and a leg. But a basic package with on demand would maybe be 30 quid a month, maybe. And they throw the internet in with that as well.
I suppose it's not terrible.
No,
I mean, what if you got Netflix? That's a $9.99 a month. Amazon Prime, I think that's also $9.99. Something around that, $9.99 a month.
I have no idea.
So you're already paying 20 quid a month.
And then if you want to watch anything, like Disney seem to own everything else now, so you need Disney Plus as well.
Is that any good?
If you love Star Wars and Marvel, it's the fucking best.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. I might give that a go.
I've had enough of Marvel films. Now, there's just too many of them.
There is a lot to keep up. That universe.
If we're really honest, most of them are not that great.
You've just offended so many people.
Give a fuck.
They've just turned it off.
Okay, come at me, bro. Come at me. Explain to me why these films are so good.
I do like. I must admit, I do like the Avengers. I think the Avengers was great.
I haven't seen all of them. I think we might have talked about this last time. I can't remember. I haven't seen the third one.
It is good. It is really good.
Guardians of the Galaxy was spectacular.
That's a brilliant.
I love Guardians.
The second one
of the
wasn't. Meh.
But I think I'm in love with the soundtrack more than I am the films, because that soundtrack is off key, man. Beautiful. It's so good.
I didn't really get along with Ant-Man.
No,
it's pretty boring.
No,
I mean I like the actor. I think he's brilliant. What's his name?
Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I think he's amazing. He's funny.
He's excellent.
Oh, he's funny. Have you seen his Between Two Ferns?
Yeah, he's amazing. By the way, the Between Two Ferns movie might be the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's so good, dude.
Is it because isn't it him going on a road trip doing the Between Two Ferns?
I don't even want to tell you anything about it because you have to watch it. It is so fucking funny, dude.
Have to.
It's so good.
I can't believe in this day and age, right? With the current president of the United States, I can't believe that he had the president on Between Two Ferns back in the day.
It was a different time, though.
It literally was a different time, yeah. How mad
before the world went mental. But yeah, it's so good. The Between Two Ferns is amazing.
Have you seen the outtakes?
Yeah.
Some of the funniest outtakes I've ever seen.
They're unbelievable. There is some moments in that film that, like, my jaw was just on the floor, laughing, like tears coming down my face. I was laughing so much. The John Legend interview is amazing. Like that's a little bit of a high point for me. It's so fucking good. Oh,
you've hyped it up now.
Yeah, you should watch it, man.
I'm gonna have to watch it. Have you seen? Oh shit! What was I gonna say? It's gone. No, it's gone.
I haven't really watched. I've been rewatching House of Cards. That's about as.
The Borat film. Have you watched the Borat film?
No,
yet?
Not yet. I've heard very mixed reviews.
Yeah,
about it.
It's not obvious. It's not Borat 1, obviously. I mean, they had to do something different, didn't they? But I don't know about it.
I think that's the thing that made, like, if he just essentially remade the first film, I wouldn't even bother getting excited about it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's done it the way that it makes me more excited about watching it, knowing that it's not just going to be him. For 2 hours. Do you know what I mean?
It is. It's definitely something. I don't know how. Do you know what happens in it? Like, do you know?
No, I've no
nothing
idea.
At all.
No idea.
I won't.
I deliberately stayed clear of it because I'm such a big fan of Sacha Baron Cohen that
he's amazing.
I try not to read up about what he's doing so that I'm not trying to sort of second guess it before I've seen it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You definitely should watch it then. Oh, a lot of the times in that film, like my reaction was literally.
They're my favourite films. The ones that make you go like that.
Yeah.
It's like what?
I can't. Some of the stuff that he says, I don't know how he's not in jail.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it that bad?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it is. I'm surprised. Like, I don't care about it. Whatever. I'm surprised that there isn't more people complaining about it. Like, because people complain about everything these days. I'm genuinely surprised that it was allowed to air.
I think it's more. I like the fact that as much as he does all this crazy, outlandish, have you seen the Bruno film?
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a crazy film, but he can justify all of it, and he does it in a way that's very reasoned. He doesn't start shouting and screaming and screw you. It's very reasoned and educated and just
he's very smart, isn't he?
He's very smart,
very intelligent. It reminds me of doesn't Mr. Bean have a master's degree?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he plays Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean,
sorry.
he did he did Blackadder and all that other stuff back in the 80s and the 90s.
That's so good.
Which is unbelievably good.
Oh, I need to watch it again. You know, one thing I haven't watched that apparently is really good is Faulty Towers. I've never seen Faulty Towers. It's like a classic that everyone's seen, and I'm like, oh god. It's one of the great. I mean, I rewatched a lot of it relatively recently, actually, and I didn't realise there's only ever been 12 episodes of it. Really?
It only ever made 12.
Big? Wow.
And I thought that there was. I thought it ran for years and years, and there was loads of them. It's like, no, there's only 12. It's just that they cram so much into every episode of it.
Bloody hell.
That it feels like there's 3 times as much as there is. It's one of the best things you'll ever watch. It's so funny. Completely inappropriate for 2020.
Yeah.
Like, it's not very PC.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's
very it shows the attitude of the.
When was it? 1980.
I want to say it was the 80s. Yeah.
Faulty Towers.
I don't know.
I need to watch it.
Dude, it's so good. You must have seen the Monty Python stuff.
Yeah. I've seen the Knight. Is there a Knight?
In the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Where he chops his arms off and all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
if you like Monty Python, then you'll love it. It's all based on like a. I watched a thing with John Cleese talking about it. He was saying that they were off doing a Monty Python thing somewhere. I want to say it was like The Meaning of Life, maybe, and they went to a hotel, and the guy that ran the hotel was like Basil Fawlty. He was like and he based the whole thing. Like the rest of Monty Python went, "Oh fuck this, we're going to stay somewhere else," and he went, "No, I'm going to stay." And he stayed and just observed this guy and then built a sitcom around him.
That's brilliant.
It's really funny, man.
I'm pretty sure that's the same as what he did with Between Two Ferns, because he had that interview, didn't he?
Yeah.
From that guy, and
dude, Faulty Towers is so good. You'll love it.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in between a bit of a rock and a hard place at the moment because Jem's rewatching Sister.
I don't even
remember
know
that from the. It's like, oh god, it's like
that?
These twin girls in like the early 90s, separated at birth, and then they just bump into each other at a shopping centre, and their parents move in together, and they become a big happy family. It's awful. It was bad at the time.
That sounds so shit.
And now watching it. Whatever it is, 20 years later, 25 years later, it's even worse. But I have to wait till she goes to sleep and then just put House of Cards in. Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. But there's a lot of fun stuff out there at the moment, man. Like, we talked about the Queen's Gambit before. Like, I need to definitely watch. Excellent.
There's so much stuff I need to watch. But oh my god,
I've been told about there might be 40 different things I've been told about in the last month that I have to watch.
Everyone's at home watching Netflix, so that's
exactly,
what we're talking about, isn't it?
This fucking thing's going to fall off again.
I think you need to turn the mic around as well. I don't know if you're at the front of it or not.
You're
at the front.
I'm right in. Right in there.
So I've been. I was up till 2 a.m. last night, streaming on Twitch, as you do.
We were talking about Twitch.
So Twitch do these things called drops, which basically mean that if you watch the game that drops for, you right there?
Yep.
That's so scuffed.
Whether it's going to stay, I don't know. But.
Twitch do these things called drops. So you got to watch the game for a certain amount of time. It doesn't matter what channel, you just watch the game for a certain amount of time, and then you get exclusive content in that game for watching it on Twitch. So it basically is what it boils down to is there's a huge audience at the moment on Twitch for the game that I play,
right?
Which is Rust.
Yeah.
So I was streaming last night to record-breaking numbers that I've ever had. Record-breaking. I've never had. Because most of the time I stream on YouTube.
Yeah.
My peak view account on YouTube is like, I think it's 1,000 concurrent live viewers or something like that on YouTube. But on Twitch, my audience isn't on Twitch, so like I don't have a big following on there.
Oh, so you're starting to build a new audience.
Basically, yeah, I'm building a new audience on Twitch. So my peak before this was like 120 viewers or something like that. But last night I hit 832 viewers live on Twitch, which was incredible. But it got to the point where I was just sitting there in my chair, just like, have you seen that South Park World of Warcraft guy?
Oh,
he was just sitting there like that was basically just me last night. I was so tired, but you got to do it. So tonight, again, as soon as I get home finishing this, I'm going to be live straight away.
Yeah.
Back on Twitch, seeing. I mean, it runs until the 19th, so I've got a.
Oh, you got a good few days then.
Of just constant streaming. So hopefully after that, I should be able to apply to be a Twitch partner.
Nice.
Which will be very cool. Get a little badge.
What's their sort of threshold for their partnership?
You have 75 average concurrent viewers over 30 days.
Right.
You need to stream at least 12 hours, I think, and then stream at least like some separate days, some amount of days in the month, the past 30 days.
Oh, so you have to like a minimum of like say 10 days out. Of
exactly. Yeah. And then, but the hardest one is that 75 viewers concurrent. Which I've struggled for the past. I've only really taken it seriously the past like 3 weeks or so, but it's really strange how sometimes I'll go live, I'll get like 130 viewers, sometimes I'll get like 60, sometimes I'll get like middle ground 100, but it's never been pushed over that 75 average. Yeah. So I streamed last night, got 800, and now my average is like 138. So hopefully. Fingers crossed I'll be able to apply for Twitch partner. But the problem is I applied about a week ago. Because I've got a substantial audience already on YouTube. They let you apply because you've already got an audience elsewhere.
Oh, right. Okay.
But they declined the partnership, sadly. Not sure why. Probably because my numbers aren't great on Twitch for their actual partnership program. Because this is like a separate partnership way to get partnership, if you know what I mean. If you've already got a audience elsewhere.
Yeah.
But they declined it. But because they declined it, that means I can't reapply for another 60 days.
60 days?
60 days, yeah. So I've got to, somehow, after this Twitch drop stuff is over, try and keep the average of 75 viewers above 75. So what I'm doing.
You got to spend the next, 60 days being entertaining as fuck.
Yeah. So, it's so... I think I spoke about it last time, how much... I didn't anticipate how much energy it takes to be entertaining constantly for like 6 hours at a time. I don't think I stopped talking for 6 hours in that live stream. I think I got up to pee once. That's about it.
I think it must be quite exhausting mentally as well.
You get to a point where you're just like, I'm sure people get used to it and that's how they stream for like 12 hours at a time. But when I'm new to it, I'm like just dead, just absolutely dead inside.
It's too much, man. It's I always think I've never really followed a lot of live streamers, as it were. But I always think back to people that do commentary for live sports or
I bet that's hard.
Yeah, I was thinking a UFC card starts here at 11 10 o'clock at night, something like that, and goes through till 6 o'clock in the morning. It's like 8 hours. And they have to be entertaining and on point the entire time. Like, that must be exhausting.
That's a lot of coffee.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, yeah.
Jeez.
But then to have to do it, at least with them, there's something happening in front of them where they can talk about it.
Yeah.
Whereas you have to create the thing that's in front of you and then talk about it and maintain being entertaining the entire time.
And I think I said to you last time, you can tell if what you said, because you've got instant feedback. You've got the chat, which is instant. You've got the view account, which is real time, so it changes every second that you can see if it goes up and down. So you've got a real time feedback of if what you just said is funny, which is so stressful. Because if you say something and there's no reaction, you're like, okay. I kind of imagine it like doing stand up, but less pressure. Because I imagine doing stand up is probably one of the hardest things.
It's got to be.
Yeah, because again, instant feedback, but they're also right in front of you, looking at you.
And it's a room full of people like, right, we've paid to come and see you be funny, so you best be funny.
You best be funny.
You best start right now and be funny for an hour. Go.
I couldn't imagine anything worse than that in stand-up. Oh, my God.
That's why I've always been so impressed with people like Dave Chappelle and Kevin Hart and Louis C.K. and Ricky Gervais and all those guys, because they're just... I can't imagine having to be funny for 2.5 minutes, let alone like these stories of Chappelle going on stage and talking for 4 hours. Like, he'll just rock up somewhere and be like, right, okay, yeah, I'm going to go up on stage. Kicks everyone off the stage and is like, right, okay, let's go. And he'll do like 3 hours.
That's just natural raw talent.
Oh, yeah.
That's
it's mental. Like, a few things scare me, like the idea of that or live streaming or something like that, because I think, like, I can't think quick enough to filter what I know I'd end up saying something that I regret. Like,
oh my God, that brings that. Do you know PewDiePie, right?
Yeah.
So you might have seen it because it was all over the media. He was live streaming PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Is a battle royale game for PC and console, whatever. Right. He was going against this guy. I don't understand why he said it, but he shouted like the N-word.
Oh, yeah,
live stream in front of hundreds of thousands of people. Oh, like he was the first guy that started the adpocalypse, which is what YouTubers call the time where everyone got demonetized for the slightest thing because YouTube was scared of the media coming back. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he caused the adpocalypse. And then
is that adpocalypse still going on now?
Yeah. It changed YouTube forever.
Really?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because now, like before, you could upload and it would be monetized. There would be no bot going through it. Nothing like. I mean, if there was crazy, I think it worked by people reporting it. You know, back in the day, if enough people reported that video, then it would get demonetized. Yeah, I think that's how it happened. And then this happened, and then so they've had to build AIs to go through your videos and detect swearing, like violence, hate content, like anything, because there's too much content for a human, human, or any amount of humans to go through it. So yeah, now you upload a video, you look at this little icon on your screen, and if it turns yellow, you're fucked, because that video is now demonetized, which also means it doesn't get pushed. It won't be in recommended. It won't be in subscription feeds. Right. So if your video gets demonetized, you might as well just delete it, because it's useless. It's because it won't get pushed to any new people, because what's the point? YouTube can't make money from it, so they won't push it to any new viewers.
So an AI, some kind of algorithm or a bot or whatever it is, goes through every video,
every frame of every video,
every frame of every video.
Single frame of every single video,
and decides that algorithm decides whether or not you can be demonetized.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even go to like, because I would assume that the correct way to do it, and I'm an idiot, so I might be wrong, is to have your little bot go through it, and if it flags something up, send it to a real person so that they can watch it and in context and everything else, and then make a decision from there.
That would be amazing, but the sheer volume of content on YouTube uploaded every second, it's impossible. They have to have bots to do it. Otherwise,
It just
there's no way
it just
of doing
seems like a deeply flawed system.
And the worst thing is when you get demonetized, they do not tell you why. You have to guess. They don't tell you. They give no indication of what got you demonetized.
So unless you've done something like that where you've screamed a word that you shouldn't scream, or like played a piece of copyrighted video in it or something like that.
So I've got friends who literally filter every single swear word. They cut it out, everything, and they still get demonetized. And they have no idea why, because other channels playing the same game, doing the exact same thing, don't get demonetized. It makes no sense. That's so weird. It is such a. It used to be more broken, but it's still a very broken system. And your livelihood is depending on it.
But the thing is, with the amount of content that's going up on YouTube every day, is there even a plausible way to fix it other than employing hundreds, if not thousands, of people to watch all these things that have been flagged? And
I got to give them credit. It's for like what you just said. They're doing a very good job in that regard, but it's still. I think it just needs more data, like the algorithm, because it's a deep learning algorithm, which means the more data it's got, the more it can accurately predict results. Yeah. So when it first came out, when they first released it, everyone got demonetized. Like all of my friends, everyone that I know doing YouTube was demonetized, and like you'd earn. If say a video you release would earn £500 monetized, you'd earn like £5 if it was demonetized. That's when it first came out. It was awful. People thought it was like the end of YouTube. Yeah, but they've fixed it enough to be semi-working. But they really need to tell people why they got demonetized.
Well, yeah, because then you can make sure that you don't do it again.
Exactly. But I think
that's the equivalent to giving someone on a football pitch a red card, but not telling them why. Yeah. Get off. Why? Just because.
Because I said so.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. Like you have to be able to correct your behaviour so that you can fit in with the. You've got no the other thing I was thinking is, what guidelines? Like, who programs this algorithm, and like to what standard is it set?
They don't know. That's the thing. They don't know because it's called a black box. So they've programmed this computer, and it's a neural network, which basically means it's kind of self-taught and self-thinking.
It learns.
Yeah. So YouTube themselves don't even know, because they give them the data, they give them the video, and then it spits out an output, and that's what they just say.
Seems like the most ridiculous thing, because you can't just it has to be looking for everyone to achieve a certain standard. Like, if that what I mean is, like, if that algorithm got programmed by someone that's like hyper right wing, then everything gets through, and like hate speech goes free, and you can shout N words as much as you want, and Conversely, if it's programmed by someone who's hyper left, then everyone gets flagged because everyone gets offended by everything these days. Like, you need to know what it. Do you see what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah.
For no one to know what it's aiming for seems ridiculous, because then how can you plan your content that is ultimately your livelihood around such a massive unknown?
Luck and just hope that you just.
It does give me a bit more respect for people that do make a lot of money on YouTube, though. If they're dodging all those, like jumping over all those laser beams.
So many, like when it first came out, the stress levels of like content creators was unbelievable. Another thing with YouTube is a lot of so many YouTubers struggle with depression and like mental health crap, because is what YouTube does is, on the back end, there's this ranking system. So every video you upload is ranked against the last 10 that you've uploaded, and you're given a score.
Oh, so you're constantly competing against yourself.
Yeah, you're constantly fighting. And is what I've gone through recently is I've gone through a boom. So my channel exploded like 2 months ago, right? I was doing really well. Every video was 1 out of 10. Every video was beating the one before it. Yeah. But because I did that back then when lockdown first started. Yeah. Now lockdown's over and people are going back to work. There's not as many people on YouTube. Yeah. So normally you're going to get lower views. Yeah. But every video I upload is like 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10. So you're constantly at home going, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? What's the problem? Why can't I get these views anymore? And so many people I know that have gone through that are really struggling.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
With like mental health and all this kind of stuff.
Because you're like, everything that I do is shit now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you just don't know, like.
Unlike someone like you can look at it objectively and go, people are back at work. There's no more lockdown.
Yeah.
You have to be objective of it. Like, but if you're not that sensible and you're like, right, everything I'm doing is toilet.
Yeah. And
like, it will.
One of the guys that I watch, he literally just straight up uploaded the video saying, "Look, I can't do this anymore. I can't fight against myself," basically. And he's pleaded to YouTube to remove this feature because it's causing just grief, just constant grief.
I mean, it could be an optional. For fuck's sake! Right. If this happens again, I'm going to quit.
If you didn't see that, his mic just fell off again. Amazing.
I'm going to carry on as if that didn't happen. Yeah, if you're going to rank people, rank their content based on whatever criteria it is that they have.
Yeah.
Just make it optional.
That's all they need to do is just make a little... Because what happens is it's on the desktop. It's on like the front page as soon as you click analytics on your YouTube Studio thing.
Yeah.
As soon as you go to that back end, it's there right in front of you. Like, you can't hide from it because if you want to go look at your comments or anything, you have to go through that part to go to the comment section. So you can't even hide from it.
I mean, I get it because people want... If you're creating content, you want to know...
Yeah, you need to know if it's doing well.
Exactly.
Or what works and what doesn't. I know what they're trying to do, but
to have it front and center like that just seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, just stick it in a tab somewhere. If you want to go look at it, you can. It's a horrible, horrible system. Just constantly fighting against yourself. Like, people don't. A lot of the stuff we're doing while being a YouTuber, a lot of it, like the mainstream general audience don't really kind of get how difficult it actually can be. Because whenever I speak to people, it's like, oh, you just play games for a living. You just, record yourself playing games.
It seems very...
Like, oh, I get that. I mean, yeah, that's what I do. But there is so much behind the scenes. Like, you can't turn off. You're constantly thinking of, okay, what can I record next?
Yeah.
What can I do next? I need to take my channel to the next level. Like, I need some ideas, video ideas. Oh, I've got to upload tomorrow. I've got to do this live stream. I've got, even sleeping at night, it's like, most of the time, I don't fall asleep until I've got an idea in my head for a video.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm just sat there, like, just waiting, like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that the next day.
I suppose that's something that people that work quote unquote regular jobs don't have to think of, because if you're working in Sainsbury's, you know every day what you're going to. You have to do a certain amount of time on the till or in the bakery or stacking shelves or whatever. There's no real. Like, oh shit, I have to work out how to stack a shelf tomorrow.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
as soon as you're off work, as soon as you clock out, that's it.
I refilled the newspapers like that yesterday. I can't do that again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. You can't rinse and repeat your content. It always has to be fresh and new.
Yeah.
So you can't take an idea that you done a few months ago and do it again. So you're constantly having to come up with new things to do in a game that's not changing very quickly. It only changes once per month, and that's only a few updates. So you're constantly thinking of oh God, I need another idea. My channel's dying. Help me. It's very, very, very stressful, but it comes with the job. I mean, I do play games for a living, so I can't really complain.
and I mean, excuse me. I mean, I'd imagine as stressful as it can be, there are much worse ways to make a living.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, it's.
Oh yeah.
It must be nice to be able to constantly flex that creative muscle and get your brain fired, especially when I don't know from experience with games, but I know every now and then when you get an idea for something, it's like that's the nice one. And you get all excited, yes, I'm going to do it now.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That has happened before. But the worst part is when you're burnt out of the game. Like, physically playing it hurts. Just even playing the game hurts because you've played it so much. I've got 4,500 hours in Rust.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've played it a lot, and every so often it does come around that you're burnt out and you just you don't want to sit there and play, but you know you have to because you have to pay rent, you have to pay your bills. You know, that's why I like this whole moving into sort of Twitch area.
Yeah.
Because even if I don't make a video, I'm still like streaming. I'm still working on Twitch. I don't have to think about an idea. I can just play.
Yeah.
I can just play. If something happens. Yeah. Which is kind of relaxing in a way, in a weird, strange way.
Like, is your channel built exclusively around that game?
Yes. Yeah. From the ground up, it's Rust.
But can you say January comes? Can you go a new year, a new game?
No.
You're tied, inexorably tied to that game.
Yeah.
Forever.
I have tried. I know people that have tried. Because my audience, this is the way YouTube sees it. Because my audience is exclusively Rust, if I upload a video that isn't Rust, that thumbnail is going to be not Rust. It's going to be different. People in my audience, because it goes to my audience first, right? The video, it gets uploaded, subscribers get notified. So subscribers are notified of that new video that isn't Rust, so they don't click on it because they're not interested in something that isn't Rust. That then means to YouTube, that video didn't have a really good click-through rate.
So you get a 10 out of 10 rating.
So you get a 10 out of 10 rating. Your average watch percentage is dog. It's terrible because people look at it and are like, this isn't Rust. So YouTube then think, this is a terrible video. Why should I promote this? Nobody's watching it. Yeah. And then it just dies and it sinks. And you do that over and over again, 10 out of 10 every time, channel's dead.
So if you wanted to, say you wanted to switch to a different game like, I don't know, fucking Star Wars Battlefront, say, would you, if you wanted to switch that, would you have to essentially start another channel?
Yeah, and I have to.
And go, this is my Star Wars channel.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Exactly. You have to be either one, very, very entertaining, very talented for people to want to watch you, not just the game. So, like, a lot of people do get away with it because they are funny, they are talented, you know. Yeah. But yeah, for me, it's just, I have tried it in the past. I have tried diversing into other games. Yeah. It's never worked out. I've always had to go back to Rust because I can't handle having a video 10 out of 10 for 4 weeks straight. Yeah. Watching my views, watching the money plummet. Like, it's horrible.
I'd always thought that maybe there was like people would maybe just like gradually phase one in and another one out. You do like, I don't know, again, the Star Wars thing, you do like one video a month or one video a week, a smaller one, and then just gradually, so that people get used to it being there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're never going to like it probably is possible, but I'm just talking from personal experience. Yeah. Like, for me, I'm never going to break out of Rust on that channel. No. I've got a second channel for other games, which I do upload sometimes, but obviously not as much because it doesn't make any money. Yeah. Like, it doesn't do well. That's just for fun. But yeah, that channel will always be Rust. It will forever be Rust until Rust dies and there's a new game that's like Rust that the audience of Rust is also watching and playing. Yeah, that's when I might be able to change game.
So you literally have to wait for the game to die.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude. The pressure with that.
Yeah, it's quite a lot, I suppose, but again, it is what it is.
I mean, because talking from personal experience, I struggle to stay into a game that long. Mm-hmm. Like, typically, when like the only games that I've really stuck into like big time after like a long period of time is like Gears of War. Yeah, like Gears, it's my favorite collect. I mean, I know they're a bit fucking whatever. They're not the best games in the world.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
But it's the only game where I've like, right, I have to go online, I have to complete the horde, and I have to do the different maps and whatever. But even then, I'll get a month into it and go, like, no, I need something else.
Do you know what really helps? Money. Money definitely helps when it comes to.
Yeah. I suppose if I was getting paid to play it,
exactly. A lot of content creators they say that they got into it for fun, and then they started making money. But I'm not gonna bullshit anyone. I got into it because I knew I could make money from it. Yeah. Like, I love Rust. I love the game. But holy shit, I wish I could play a different game. Yeah. It is one of the most stressful, because the problem is I'm terrible at it. I am god awful.
No, but I like that. I like the fact that you can go online and watch someone that isn't just destroying everyone.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because for me, when I go online, it's a lot of the reason why I don't go online and play it is because there's people that play them 6 hours a day, every day, and they're just annihilating everyone, and it takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah, that reminds me of Fortnite, right? You've heard of Fortnite?
Yeah.
When that first came out, like that was a good game when that first came out. Like the first month that came out, everyone was playing it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the kids got hold of it and then sweated it out. So as soon as you go online, you get destroyed by like a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know what you mean. There's just no point.
But that's Epic. Like the Epic, that they do that the best.
Yeah.
Like look what they did with Gears of War and Unreal Tournament and like they're experts at just hamming a game until everyone is playing it.
Like what they did with Fortnite is just
that's another level.
Incredible. And like is what I love about Epic Games is they used all that money from Fortnite and bought a shit ton of game development stuff.
Oh, wow.
So they've got their own Unreal editor, right? They've got an Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
So they bought a lot of tools that you can use that were paid beforehand. So you'd have to pay an extra like 99 quid a month or something to use this tool. But Epic Games just went, we'll give you a couple of million quid. We'll buy that tool. And then we could just ship it with Unreal Engine. And then you can use it for free.
Wow.
If you use Unreal Engine. And you don't have to pay any royalties to Epic Games until you've made like 250 grand off your game. They are amazing for the game development community. Like they're so good.
Because the last time I really paid attention to Epic was when Cliff Bleszinski was running them.
Is it Tim Sweeney now?
I don't. This is the thing. I don't know. I remember watching Cliff because he was the guy that had the top Tetris score on the planet or something when he was like 11 years old. He was like a super nerd who grew up and made Unreal Tournament and all that lot, made a ton of money and was driving Lambos and balling out in front of everyone. And then he disappeared. He made I think 2 or 3 Gears of War games and then he left. And he went over to Oculus. But and then Gears of War left Epic and went to Microsoft and they had the coalition that built it as well.
Yeah.
So I've never played Fortnite. So I always assumed that like they weren't really doing that much, but then
fucking mate,
if they're smashing it like that, then that's
they build tools for Fortnite, professional industry standard tools for Fortnite. And then ship it to the game dev community for free. Like they work on these insanely good tools that are specifically for Fortnite and whatever, and then allow all of the game dev people that use Unreal Engine 4 to use that too for free.
So when they ship it out to the rest of the development community, it doesn't have to be used to make Fortnite stuff. You can use it.
You can make any game you want.
So what? Just because I'm a bit out of the loop, what do you know? Any other like notable games that I might know that are made on Unreal?
Oof. What have you played? Formula 1's probably Unreal.
Is it?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm on 2019 at the moment. It might be actually.
It probably is. Like a lot of. You've either got Unreal Engine, Frostbite, which is EA, I think.
Yeah.
Frostbite, EA. That's Battlefront, I think. And Unity, which are the main 3 sort of engines, and CryEngine, which is Crysis. But like in this day and age, most stuff's made on Unreal. Like all of the PS5 tech demos, were made in Unreal Engine. Yeah. So it's. Have you seen the PS5 tech demo?
No, it's a PlayStation. I don't pay any attention.
Oh
to
yeah,
that.
sorry, yeah. My bad.
For saying that, I haven't seen any of the Xbox ones either.
So they built a custom. Basically a custom Unreal Engine for the PlayStation 5 because it's so incredibly advanced what they're doing with the PS5 and the Xbox. They're both ridiculous. And the stuff that they've managed to do in Unreal Engine, I don't know if they're calling it Unreal Engine 6, I'm not sure. Because I think Unreal Engine 5 is the latest one, I don't know. But whatever, what they're doing is just like, is mind-boggling. So they've got this thing called global illumination, which basically a real-time ray tracing global illumination. So basically, what that means is in a room, in a game, normally you'd have a light source that would just bounce off and light stuff up. Pretty, whatever. I don't really know how to explain it, but what they're doing now is called ray tracing. So each light source in the game bounces off little lines of light, like thousands and thousands of times, so it can accurately predict and accurately show what it would actually look like in real life.
Jesus. Is this the thing that I've seen some bits about, like reflections in mirrors, and shadows, and the surface of like
they'll be able to do it like
rivers and lakes and shit as well, water.
Just like this room, for example, like you can see all the scratches on the floor and whatnot. That would be shown accurately in Unreal Engine 5. It would look like the same. They're starting to use it for architectural visualization.
Wow,
it's that impressive in real time as well. So you can walk around it with a VR headset on, and it would look real. It's insane what they can do now.
We're going to end up in the Matrix.
Like it's not far away. I genuinely believe it's not far away.
I'm sure I've said to you before, like, I might even have said it in here, that I deliberately stayed away from VR at the beginning because it was all like super pixelated and like I wanted to wait until
it's there.
And now
it is there.
Now I know it's there. I'm too scared to try it because I know I'll get obsessed.
It is like I had it before. I had the Oculus, some Oculus Rift something. And we sold it because Alice didn't get along with it. She got motion sickness.
Yeah.
And that's because the frame rate in the actual headset wasn't really enough to sort of... and the PC we had wasn't great as well. So if the frame rate is below 90 frames per second, it can sometimes lead to motion sickness.
Right.
But the PC we've got now, and if we got a Valve Index, which is like the best of the best VR that you can get, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't get motion sickness and it would be insane. And we could set it up in here, and it would be amazing.
So I've heard. I haven't heard good stuff about Oculus, to be honest, but
I would never buy it.
I heard good stuff about the Valve one, the HTC. Is it HTC Vive?
Yeah.
Heard good stuff about that. PlayStation VR. I heard a lot of good stuff about that as well.
I've never really tried it. I imagine it's all right.
I've been told it's very good.
Yeah, like the Valve Index, each finger is unique, and you can control each finger in the game.
Right.
Because of the way that you hold the controller.
Oh, you told me about this before, yeah.
You hold the controller like in the palm of your hand, that it's got a strap, so you're not actually holding it, like it's just attached to your hand.
Yeah.
And if you move your fingers, they're all pressure sensitive. So you can move, in the actual game, you can move your fingers like in real life. So you've got insane, is it fidelity? Like in the game, that you can pick up things and stuff that people are doing. It's just...
So if you wanted to buy what's it called, a Valve?
Valve Index.
If you wanted to buy one of them today, how much do they cost?
£1,000.
£1,000.
That's not.
I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money at the same time. Do you know what I mean?
£1,000 for something that's still pretty early on in the like VR space, I suppose. Like the games and stuff is still pretty early on. Like, I can't imagine what it's going to be like in 10 years. It's going to be ridiculous.
Have you heard the conversations that Rogan has about, like, we're going to create a virtual world that's indistinguishable from real reality, and then people are just going to end up living in there?
Have you seen Ready Player One?
No. I've been told it's
watch Ready Player One. That's literally what that is.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a really.
I mean, it makes, if you follow it logically, like, it makes sense. Like, we're becoming more and more connected with tech.
Yeah.
And the way, like, the rate at which everything's improving is only getting quicker. I forget what there's like a computing law.
Moore's law.
Is it where the power doubles every?
Yeah.
Is it every 2 years?
We're above Moore's law at the moment, which is like
we're above it.
We're above it. He didn't think it would happen, but we're above. I'm pretty sure we're above Moore's law.
Wow.
It's the speed at which things are getting better. I don't know. There must be a limit, because
why?
Like, how small are chips now? Like, how small are like the gates on the CPU? They're tiny.
Yeah.
How can they get any smaller? Like I think the smallest was like 8 nanometer or something stupid like that. Per I don't know what they're called, like logic gate or something.
I mean, I don't necessarily know that there has to be, like, once, like, Google are claiming that they've cracked quantum computing.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. I've read the articles on it.
It's actually massive.
But the thing is, all it takes is for that first person or first group of people to crack something.
Yeah.
And then once everyone else knows it's possible, they're like, right, okay,
Yeah.
this is the new thing.
Yeah. I mean, remember what I think 100 megabyte hard drive was back in like the 1990s, 1980s. Like a fucking, it's huge.
There is, whether this is true or not, I don't know, but apparently the average iPhone, the iPhone 7, I think it was, I read this a few years ago, but they said the iPhone 7 has something like 1,000 times the computing power of all the computers that sent the astronauts to the moon.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Like, no, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, when you look at how quick everything's advanced in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, we've got 20 years ago, there was barely no internet.
Yeah.
No YouTube, no Facebook, no... People were still playing a Nintendo 64. No PlayStation existed 20 years ago, did it?
No.
2000? No, it might have done actually
PS1
by then.
was like 95 probably, I don't know.
Yeah. But there was no like HD like it is today. It's not even close.
No, it wasn't 95. It was like... No, it must be 2000 PS1.
Yeah?
Because I remember... must be. I don't know. Yeah, but like... It's crazy.
And it's only improving quicker. It's not like no one's going to say, "Oh, well, let's just take a year off and just slow down a little bit." And just like the phone that everyone's got is okay. We don't need a new one. Like no, it's
not how it works,
it's faster. It's more intense. It's better quality. It's faster processors. It's whatever it is.
We're going to be. I reckon we'll be on Elon Musk's fucking moon base in like 5 years.
There's some squirrely stuff going on with that apparently as well because
really?
I should have read this properly, but it's something to do with when you land on Mars because there's not a functioning government there.
Oh come on!
Because technically no one owns Mars; it's just there.
Oh no!
So, in theory, the people that land there first, start the basis of their legal system and ownership of property and land.
I can't believe that is what people are thinking about.
Well, no, it's it's an element of it though. It's like Elon Musk can technically.
Is he king of Mars?
Again, I'll have to read this again, but I think that, like, technically he can claim the legal system on Mars himself. Like he can build it himself, and everyone else who goes there afterwards has to abide by his rules. Potentially.
That's so funny. That's such a weird concept.
Well,
Who would think that we'd be talking about that? Who's going to own the government on Mars?
Well, because everyone assumes that if the British people landed there first, it'd be British government. If the Americans landed first, it'd be American. I think the Americans are assuming that they're just going to own it because America.
It's America, yeah.
America.
Yeah.
But you can't claim ownership. A country can't claim ownership of a planet, but a company apparently can.
Who made these rules?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
There's so much of it that doesn't make any sense to me, but it's a crazy time to be alive, Matthew.
It really is. I'm excited, and it's funny that keeps falling off.
Do you know what? It's absolutely doing my head in. I'm gonna
hold it.
I'm gonna just sit and hold it instead.
Just cradle it.
Because if it falls over again, I will just leave it on the floor and just go
walk
home.
out.
Right.
How long have we been?
We are at
8 minutes.
We're an hour and 8 minutes. That's not bad, is it?
God damn. I think we should finish up here. We good? Anything else to talk about?
Feels like cigarette o'clock.
Oh dear. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, I'm not sure where we're going to upload this, but we will upload it somewhere. If you're on Spotify, do the old follow thing, and we'll be back next week talking about more gibberish and shite. So yeah.
And I will be as misinformed as I always am.
Yeah, we are, definitely.